Welcome to Module 9 of this course, where we will be talking about final words and next steps. And if you have come this far, I want to say that I am so proud of you, and I am so excited that you have gone through every single module and you're here now. You should be very proud of yourself. The truth is, a lot of people buy courses or pay for courses. Some people don't even open those courses, and some don't even end up getting halfway. But if you've gotten to Module 9, just get yourself a trophy. I am sending you a trophy immediately, because it means that you're actually very serious, very intentional about what you're trying to do. And let this completion, let this success, let you going through this course and getting this far be your sign that you can actually succeed, in writing and publishing your own book. I am proud of you. I'm proud of how intentional you are about the knowledge that you want to get, about how intentional you are concerning putting yourself out there as an author, concerning publishing and all of that. I'm so proud of you. Just in case you're trying to remember, we've gone through 8 modules already, and we're on the 9th one. We've spoken about what writing is. I've spoken about how to move from knowledge to concept, how to move from the idea that you have, or the knowledge that you have, or the information that you have, into the concept that you need for your book. We've also spoken about how to create your book blueprint, the different parts, the beginning, the middle, and the ending. We've spoken about all of that. We've spoken about how to write without writing, how to use assistive means to write without actually breaking your back, how to use voice notes and transcription softwares, how to use virtual assistants, how to use artificial intelligence. We've also gone ahead to speak about habits and motivation that you need to build right during the process that will help you in your writing journey and help you in your publishing process. We also spoke about how to publish your manuscript. We spoke about traditional publishing, and we also spoke about digital publishing. We spoke about the traditional type of publishing, where you publish with a publishing firm, and we also spoke about self-publishing, where you publish by yourself. Traditionally, that means on print, and also digitally on platforms like Amazon, KDP, Barnes and Noble, Kobo Rakuten, dependent on whichever one is available in your country. And then we also spoke about how to go the extra step, how to step out there into the publishing world like a professional. We spoke also about how to launch and monetize your book, how to launch your book. In other words, when you're done printing your book, when you put it out there, what's the next thing? Marketing and all of that. Also, how to monetize your book, how you can turn it into courses, how you can upsell your book into courses, into creating a new reputation for yourself and all of that. And we've gone through all of that, and now we are on module 9. And like I said, I'm so proud of you. And in this module, we would be, wrapping up on all that we've learned in this course. At this point, I believe that you already know how to put together the information for your book. I believe that you know how to take the idea from your head and turn it into a whole book, right, into written form. I believe that at this point, you've chosen how you want to get to the end goal. You've chosen whether you want to write yourself. And if you're writing yourself, you've chosen the structures and the systems and the habits that you would be building in order for you to get to that point. And if you've chosen not to write for yourself, maybe because it's just not convenient for you, or you don't have the time, or it's just not your thing, I'm sure you have at this point chosen whether you're going to be working with artificial intelligence means, whether you're going to be making voice notes and putting them on transcription softwares, or whether you'll be hiring a virtual assistant, if you don't already have one, to help you write your book. At this point, you know what you're doing. You know how you want to go about it to a greater extent than when you started this course. So if you've not gotten everything figured out at this point, don't worry, I got you. So in the first lesson in this module, we'll be talking about how to stay visible as an author. But before we go on, I need to mention, if you've gotten to this point and you're a bit concerned about how to move on, you still feel like, yes, you have all of the knowledge, but you don't want to do this on your own. We have service offerings that allow for you to have a companion, for me to be your companion while you go through this journey. This is to help you boost your confidence, to help you feel like you're being cheered on, and it will also give you access to the information that I have in real time at whatever time that you're paying for that service. It is a one-on-one auto mentoring service, and you'll find out more information about it if you reach out personally, or if you reach out to any of my websites or just send a DM or whatever. We also have a service which I am currently considering at the time of, creating this course, and I'm certain at this point that I will do it. We'll be creating a community for authors to sort of come together, when you're going through the process of launching your book or trying to write your book and whatnot, you have a community that sort of holds you together, a community that can launch your book with you. Because publishing sometimes, especially when you're not in a space with people who have done the same thing, it might feel very lonely, and a lot of people might say, you know what, you're doing something very crazy, maybe you don't do it. And we will be happy to be the first market of whatever it is you're doing. You'll also be able to get free advice from authors like yourself. So yes, I think it's something for you to consider, or you can consider both services. But I'm creating this specifically because I've noticed that despite there being courses and whatnot, a lot of authors still want to not go through the journey on their own. So I am willing to carve out time for mentoring, and also willing to put in effort into creating a sustainable community where you can join and everybody's going to, encourage one another. And this is for real authors, not just people who put together content that they never read and post on Amazon KDP. No shades meant to them, they're all just doing business. But yeah, make sure that you check out Coach Marvel to hear more about both of these offerings, and you would be receiving a mail with more information on this. But yes, let's go on. Like I said in the first lesson, we're going to talk about how to stay visible as an author. The first one in this age of time is content creation. You have to be consistent with content creation. Now, I'm going to tell you the truth. This one eats me like a rock, because when I started, pushing my book and I realized how much content I had to get involved in, I was shocked. I wasn't certain I was ready for it, especially because of how much of an introvert I am. The fact that I had to intentionally put myself out there. I am not a fan of social media on a good day. So I'm like, I can't do this. But the truth is, that's the way to put your book out there, right? If you can, try to get featured on blogs. You can send out newsletters to the people who have bought your book, because you're going to definitely have, emails and like your own mailing list from your buyers and all of that. You're using a digital platform to sell your books. Or mailing list that you might have had even before you launch your book. You can also get on podcasts, or even create a podcast yourself on themes related to the book. And you have to be active on social media, because the truth is, even when people don't find out about your book from your social media page, they're going to come look for you on social media. That is the age and time that we are in, and it's most likely going to keep being like that, or even get worse in the next decades. So there's no running away from it. Try to be a lot more active on your social media. Try to be a lot more present. Let more people see you. Try to be a part of new things. Try to step out, go out, and create content. Let people know more about it, because the truth is, when people read books, they want to know more about the author. They feel like it's a door into knowing more rather than just the end of the thing. So yes, you have to get a lot more involved on social media. Also, share behind the scenes and writing updates. People will give themselves enough time even before they publish the book. They start to pre-launch, start to talk about, I've got a book coming out in October, even though it's March or April. They start to talk about it early. They start to post videos about behind the scenes. They start to give updates like, okay, the book just came back from the publishers. Okay, I just finished chapter 10 of this book and I'm so excited. It's so funny how, just talk about the book, talk about the behind the scenes. It helps people feel like they are a big part of what you are doing. Also, engage your audience in content creation, or after content creation. Engage your audience, listen to people, respond to them. When people say, oh, this is so nice, can I respond as quickly as possible? Now, this is something I am still struggling with. I will be honest with you. I am still struggling with, because I'm managing a couple of brands, of my personal business brands, and sometimes very easy to lose track of things, and I'm just going to say, oh, I'll get back to it. But the truth is, the more you engage with people, the more the algorithm pushes whatever you're putting out there, and also the more open people feel to you. They feel like, oh, you're nice to them, and you respond quickly, and you just catch them when they're in the emotion of whatever comment they're leaving, or whatever email it is that they're sending you. Also, if you can, create communities. It could just be a Facebook group or a forum or something, but create a community that would help your book grow and help your book thrive. Okay, so I'm going to give you an example of something that I am about to implement for my book, Romeo and Mrs. Masterpiece, which is available on Selar, also available on Amazon and a number of other stores. Link is in my bio. But for my book, because it is so centered around the female gender, the younger female gender, and interestingly, I already have a non-profit that's centered around females. So my plan right now, as soon as I'm done with some heavier projects that I have, is to create a community where people that read my book can come to talk about things that are sacred to them. Girls can come to talk about their problems, their trauma, and we can all just dance around and sing kumbaya and all of that, right? So that's something that I am personally working on. But I am doing this because I want to be able to engage directly with people who have read my book, right? I want them to be able to come to talk about their issues. And at the end of the day, the business goal is that when the next book comes out, and we're going to talk about the next book very soon, when the next book comes out, if I started my authoring career, there are more books to come, right? It's not a one-hit wonder. No, there's one book, and then the hope is to, because knowledge increases every day. From the day you're not writing that book, you get to experience a lot more of life. So you've got more things to add, right? When the next book comes, I need the same audience who already believe in me, and I am already constantly engaging to help me to receive the book with love, and also now be my market, my audience, such that they start to talk to other people about it. That way, my next book is going to have a larger amount of traction as compared to the first one. Why? Because I have engaged with my audience, I've built a community, right, that is loyal to myself and my book. Also try to collaborate and network. Make guest posts, right? Like, you can talk about other people on your page, other authors, or you could figure out a way to get yourself spoken about on other people's page. Grant interviews, go to people's podcasts, make webinars or attend webinars, or become a part of webinars or host webinars, but just show up, right? And interact with what other people already have going on. You can also make sure that you partner with other authors and influencers to do whatever you could do, whether you're partnering with influencers because it's book month and you're sending them copies of your book, or you're just partnering with other authors to do a live session on Instagram where you guys are talking about what it's like to publish a book and all of that, or authors in your field or people, not necessarily authors, just people in your field where you guys are coming on a platform, whether it's on Twitter or it's Instagram or even YouTube, where you're sitting down with them to talk more about a certain field that you have authority in and that is directly related to your book. Also, refresh and re-promote your book, right? Don't always, because you have launched it the first time, that's the end. No. Do anniversary editions. Send out an epilogue, right? Or a prologue that nobody expected. Or let's say you're writing a fictional book. Write from the POV of a character nobody really heard from, right? Yes, so do something new or push it out from a different perspective at a different time. You could also do special offers where you can say, oh, you know what, I've got 30% off my book. Would you be interested in buying? So, okay, we've got 30% off for the all of next week because it's been a year since I launched my book, or it's been 6 months, right? Or you could also create new formats of the book. Let's say you've just got available prior in PDF and, printed version, and you know what, you're going to make it available in EPUB. So push it out there like that, re-promote it. Don't stop because, your book is out there. Your book, you're going to promote your book every single time. My book, I go out with it every time. When I forget it at home, I'm confused because I know that I should have gone out with it. I don't like when I leave it back at home. So I hold a copy of my book with me everywhere that I go. I've got a signed copy ready to go, no matter where it is that I am. All right, so in this second lesson, we're going to be talking about planning your second book. Like I said, we'll talk about the second book. Now, firstly, you've written a book, right? That's not the end of the world. It's not a one-hit wonder. The more books and now I'm not saying, oh, go and write 100 books. If you write 100 books and you write absolute rubbish inside the 100 books, you're gonna have a problem because your reputation is gonna get damaged, right? But if you've been able to write one book, like I said, between the time that you're done with that manuscript and, or let's say within the time that you launch and the next 2 years or even 1 year, if you're doing nonfiction, no matter the period of time, you get a new experience. So let's give an example. So you wrote about self-awareness and you've launched a book. The truth is, what your readers would get back to you with, the kind of feedback they'll give you, the kind of questions they would ask you should begin to give you information about what your next book needs to cover, right? So let's say the first book that you wrote was really on self-awareness for like younger women, and you see how more older women are reaching out and saying, the book affected me and this and this and that, or men are also reaching out and saying, oh, I wish that the book was much more focused also on men and all of that. That should give you insight on what to do, right? Or maybe your readers keep coming back to you about how the book really helped them, and they're just wondering, or let's not even say they're asking you, they're just saying, the book really helped them to deal with trauma and all of that, and has helped them to be more self-aware in a way that they can heal and da 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 da. That's another idea. Why not write a book on self-awareness for people who have gone through trauma, themed around that, right? It gives you insight as to what the next thing you're supposed to do. So first step, as it says right here, is evaluate your first book's feedback. Go through your reviews. If you don't have reviews, source for them, look for them, find them, okay? Look for reader questions that your readers ask you in person, or just have conversations with, readers. Wherever you can find them, hold them and have conversations with them. And also your sales data, right? Do you find out that more men are buying your books, or women within the ages of, so and so? Let all of that inform what your next steps will be. So the idea is you need to move forward, but firstly you need to look back and see what you've been able to achieve so far, what the questions have been, what the feedback has been like, what the data that you have is like. And from there, like I said, you identify new topics and angles that would help propel you forward. So related themes to your book, or deeper dives, right, into certain things that you probably spoke about in your first book. And you can also address gaps that you can notice from what people are not saying or from what they have even said. And you can also, speak on emerging trends. I'm going to give you an example. So someone who wrote a book in the first year of artificial intelligence gaining, dominance in the world should already have like 3 books out by now because so much has happened between then and now, right? There's been so much growth. There's been right now it's clear what the trend for artificial intelligence is like, right? Right now people are talking about how you can use artificial intelligence to spot cancer, cancerous cells and all of that, right? There's a lot of potential for artificial intelligence. Whoever wrote a book like that some years ago should already have so many books out exploring different parts of artificial intelligence, because now artificial intelligence is spreading into almost everything. So there's always going to be something for them to write about emerging trends. Now, this is the same in almost every industry. In the logistics industry, maybe you're someone who's into your business person and you're into, shipping things down and all of that. Things change. The fact that, people could not ship certain products 2 years ago does not mean that they cannot ship it now. Or the fact that people could ship certain products 2 years ago does not mean that, they can ship it now. Regulations change, people change, culture switches up sometimes, trends change. And these are things that you need to identify for you to be able to move forward as an author. Also, set realistic goals and deadlines. You're moving forward. You're reading your first book. Now you know what the pace is like. Okay, so schedule writing and marketing milestones. And also remember that you still already have an existing book that needs to be marketed. So set milestones for that too. But now that you've got a lot more experience, practical experience as compared to the theoretical one that you're getting in this course, even though I tried as much as possible to make it as theoretical as possible, the fact that you've published your book would give you a lot more insight as to what your pace is like, what is most feasible for you as a person, right? So make sure that you schedule your writing and marketing milestones and make sure that they are realistic. Also try to do it early so you don't get to a point where you're like, oh my God, I want to publish a book in the next 3 months. You could have started a long time ago, right? So keep that in mind. Also begin to build your author brand. link book for series or thematic consistency. So now you're an author, it's time to build yourself in that way. Like I said, you're not a one-hit wonder. If you can create a series of books that are related to about the same thing that you wrote the last time, at least let them be connected in a certain scene. If it's self-help, if it's psychological, if it's fictional, if it's professional, let them be connected in one way or the other. So you have, because you're building authority in a certain space, you want there to be some form of consistency. I hope this is something that you understand. And now, third lesson, I would be encouraging you and also pointing you in the direction of certain resources. Firstly, please celebrate your achievements, celebrate it, and keep every single memory. When I got the first copy of my last book, I went on live on Instagram. I have never done that. I went on live on Instagram and I was blown out of my mind. I said, after publishing so many books, that was the first one that I got to hold in my hands, and I was stunned. I'm like, how did I did this? I finally pushed through and actually traditionally published in print in my country. Yes, huge. Even if you're not publishing in print, the fact that you hit published and it got published is huge. See, let's even leave publishing. The fact that you wrote a whole book, a whole manuscript. Celebrate your achievements. Get yourself a glass of wine, take yourself out for a dinner, throw a party, because you have done very well. Well done. You deserve a very huge round of applause. So yes, please celebrate your achievement. Also, there will be challenges along the way, and you need to stay patient. Regardless of what is happening, just stay patient and see how things will evolve. Some things take time. Sometimes you might just be sitting trying to write and it's not coming. Be patient. Also, stay persistent. Don't give up too easily. Don't give up too early. Don't give up at all. Also, be flexible. And I'm going to give you an example. When I was writing my first fiction book, which was the last one that I wrote, I wanted it to be a very thick novel. I wanted, about 300 pages and whatnot. But it wasn't exactly going to work out that way, and I did not know. I just kept writing. Eventually, the book ends up evolving into what would be a series where I get to talk about the lives of 5 different characters. Eventually, it ended up being a novella, but it was a very exciting one, right? It was a really good start. I got to publish it when I wanted to publish it, and the feedback has been amazing. Now, imagine that I refused to be flexible and I chose to be my usually stubborn self. And I said, okay, you know what? If this book is not finished, I'm not going to publish it. I would have still been an author, but like -1. I would never have been able to get the book out there. And what are the chances that I would have ever gotten to the point where I actually finished, writing the book? So stay flexible. Keep learning, keep growing, watch videos on, writing, marketing, publishing. There's a lot of information online. There's absolutely nothing that I could do to pack all of the information that is available on writing and publishing and marketing into this course. Let me tell you something. I do not know 100% of all the information that is available, because everybody's got interesting experiences and there's always something to learn. That's the beauty of this world. Always something to learn. Follow blogs, follow podcasts, take even more courses, whether from myself or from the next person. I would advise you take from me. But if there's more to learn from the next person, yes, please, take courses, learn, Google stuff, talk to fellow authors, learn as much as possible on things surrounding writing, marketing, and publishing. Keep learning and keep growing. And lastly, stay connected with Coach Marvel. You can join our community, and we're going to get more information on that in your course module or as an email once you're done with this course. And also follow me on social media. Follow us on social media at coach.marvel_. Follow us on social media. We are currently, at the time of this recording, we are only available on YouTube and Instagram. So follow us there. If you've not subscribed to this channel, please make sure that you do. Because I also post like free content on the channel too. Some of the content that you'll be seeing here are probably old, but I plan to start to post some free content, nothing like what I have given you, but some free content here. So you might want to click on the subscribe button. Also, we're going to be having upcoming writing coaching programs. Like I said, I am opening up slots to coach writers or people who have ideas, who want to turn to writers, into how they can all become authors from either knowing nothing or just from being writers. So you can jump on our upcoming writing coaching programs, or you can jump on joining our writing slash authoring community. Thank you so much for coming all the way with me. Thank you for taking this course. Thank you for taking a chance on me. I hope that you have learned. I have poured my heart out as much as I can, but I hope that you've learned even more than the things that I have been able to say. I believe in you. I believe that when you write that book, you are not going to regret it. Please make me proud. Reach out to me to tell me about all of your achievements. I am going to be your biggest cheerleader. And when you publish that book, everybody that follows Coach Marvel is going to know about it. So the minute you're ready to go, the minute you're writing your manuscript, send me a message and let's celebrate. Let's pop that champagne together. All right. Thank you so much. I am so grateful, and God bless you.